Okay, so now we're going to be talking about my next tier, which is just the second tier. I think some of these cards have weaknesses. Some of these cards are not perfect, but they're good cards and they'll help your team. Are they worth 750 tokens? I don't know. I would say everybody in that first tier is. I don't know if these cards are. It just depends what your team needs. Whether you can work around maybe some weaknesses, how they play. But I'm not going to say these cards are not worth it at the same time. It just depends on your situation and how much you like to play. So first we're going to go to Zach LaVine. So Zach LaVine, 6'5", he can play the 1, which is very helpful. So I've used this card. I used this card on my buddy's account. He has a very good release. He has very good release. What you're gonna get with this card, he is a very good. If you need like a bench scorer type of player, this card might be perfect for you. This card might be perfect. He's gonna be very good at that. But if you're gonna play him at point, I don't know how good of a playmaker he is for point. We'll get into the stats and badges. We'll find that out. But and then defensively there might be some issues. So not gonna do much in the post, but he is gonna. He's got a nice 3-ball. He's got a 99 driving dunk. You know that's going to come. Zach LaVine known for dunking. Only an 86 ball handle, but it's good enough to speed boost. So passing is okay. Not great for a point guard this stage of the game, assuming you are looking to play him at point. If you're looking to play him at the 2, maybe that's not as big of a deal. Only an 89 perimeter D. You'd prefer that to be a little higher, to be honest. Only a 90. So this card is good. Is it? I don't know if it's great, but so speed is okay. Speed with ball is okay there. Might look to boost that with the shoe. I always look to boost it with the shoe, pretty much. But as you can see, he does have some areas. You see some of these opals just A all the way down. This one does have a couple D's in post defense and rebounding, which are those the biggest deal for the most significant thing for a guard? Probably not. But only an A in playmaking as well. Again, if you're looking to play him at point, depending on your play style, might not be something you want. But he does have the A+ in perimeter D, so that's better. So 34 Hall of Fames. Obviously got a lot of shooting ones here, some playmaking, range, obviously a big one. Lob City finisher and Lob City passer. So if you're an oop thrower, you're gonna love this card on both ends. Hot Zone 100 Green Machine Deadeye, some really big ones there. So he does have Hall of Fame clamps. That's a big one. Obviously quick first step. So he's got some really nice badges here. Only Gold Intimidator. You prefer that on Hall of Fame. So yeah, I would say this is a good card. But again, you only Gold Dimer. Again, if you run him at point, that you may want Hall of Fame at this point in the year. So, but I have used this card. It is a good card. Defensively, there might be some weakness, but if you can work around that, this is a card that you could consider. So now, next up, we are going to look at this. We are going to look at Tim Duncan. So Tim Duncan, obviously, really good inside scoring. I'll tell you right now, Tim Duncan is going to be a good, solid big man that is going to do well for you at the 4, maybe a bit undersized at the 5, but you can play the 2. But there's one weakness with this card, and you can decide for yourself if it's an issue. So he's got an 88 3-ball. That's good enough. Good standing dunk, which is what you need there. So only ball handle's only 78. So basically, I believe you're not going to be speed boosting with this card unless you have a coach that can boost ball handle on 4s, which I believe is Terry Stotts. I don't, so he's not going to be able to speed boost for me because I run Nick Nurse. So that is a big deal. Block and stuff, that's very good. Defense, very good. Speed with ball, 80. Not necessarily up to par with what's coming out these days. On bigs, you see, we went over David Robinson. David Robinson's better than this card from that standpoint. As you can see, you are looking at only an A and 3, so you have some that are less than A+ here. So badges, he's got some really nice badges. He's got some shooting ones too, and he got Hall of Fame quick first step. So even though he can't speed boost, he might be able to blow by some non-clamp centers for sure, or fours. He does have Hall of Fame clamps on his end. Very good defensive badges all around. But as you see, has go down very good in the post. Has some good finishing badges. But there is going to be an issue that you'll see in a second. As we go through those, he's got gold flaming badges. He does have gold Deadeye, gold Hot Zone Hunters. He's got some nice gold shooting badges here. Gold Quick Draw. But one issue: no range extender at all. Does not even have it on bronze. So he's going to be, obviously for a center, depending on how you play it, maybe not as big of a deal. But he's going to either be an undersized center, because he is 6'11", or he's going to be a power forward that cannot shoot. So let me see here. I'm going to try to bring up, we're going to have a problem here for this next player because I do not have him, so I can't put his Evo stats on screen, and it's going to be Penny Hardaway. So I'm going to try and bring up Penny's stats real quick here. Just give me a second. Okay, so next up is going to be Penny Hardaway. Obviously, we're looking here at the I'm just gonna briefly go through. This is pre-Evo Penny. This is not current Penny. Obviously, he's got some nice, okay stats here and stuff, but it's really not going to be anything that crazy until we get to the Evo stuff. This is what you see, only a perimeter even. Obviously, this is not up to date for this time of the year, right? This is not going to be up to date. Only gold clamps. This is not going to be good enough, right? But when you Evo him, as we go through the stats, I'll just read them off. So he gets +6 post fade, +20 post hook, +10 post moves, +1 mid range, +3 3, +14 offensive board, 6 defensive board, 6 perimeter D. As you see for those, so you can see where he would where that would really help him. Lateral quickness +17, pass perception +5, steal 2, help defense IQ goes up by 6, speed 6, speed of ball 6, acceleration 6, vertical 5, and you get some strength boost as well. I believe it is +14 in strength. So you can see how those would really help him out. So and then badges, gold, he gets AMI catch and shoot, goes from nothing to gold corner, silver to AMI post spin, gold to AMI ankle breaker, pick dodger, clamps, intimidator, pogo stick, tireless defender, trapper, fancy footwork, fast break finisher, slithery finisher, nothing to gold on downhill, gold to amethyst handles for days, stop and go, tight handles, unpluckable, clutch shooter, deadeye, gold to or nothing to gold deep fades and flexible. He's got gold to AMI green machine, hot start, ice and veins, quick draw, range extender, and nothing to gold tireless shooter. So he gets most of the badges you would need. I have heard this card basically plays like a better Luka Doncic. If you like Opal Luka, you might like this card. This is certainly a card that can. I've heard it's a little slow, and even with the badge upgrades and stuff, is still maybe not the best defender, but it's a big point guard. You could make an argument this is the best card to get in this tier. This is the best card to get of these 3 cards, because he is a big point guard, and if you aren't loving the options on the auction house, you could get this card, and he's 6'7", and he would probably do pretty well for you. So it just depends It just depends what you're looking for, but I've heard like a better Luka is a good comparison. So if I were gonna rank the cards in this tier, obviously I would get all of the ones in the first tier first, but I would say Penny 1. I'm gonna say Levine 2, Duncan 3, just because Duncan, at this point, we've gotten so many bigs that can do one either speed boost or shoot threes. Better with range, and have range extender. So Duncan can obviously shoot, but he doesn't have range. Like, it's just hard to justify Duncan at this point, given that. I'm kind of hoping we get a GOAT from Duncan at some point down the line, so he's more usable. So next up, we are going to do the do not redeem tier in the next section.